But the thing is, I just abide by like the mentality that there is enough for everybody. Whether it's about a song or a career or like just whatever you have or want, like just because somebody is in love doesn't mean that takes any love away from me. You know, just because someone's having success doesn't mean that I can't. And honestly, if you lean into it, then it like will just help you rise. There's enough love and excitement and joy and success and songs and like all that stuff to go around.
I love that. Hi, it's Ben here. Welcome to Country Roads. This is the podcast where we journey back to the places that have shaped our favourite country artists and made them who they are today. Whether it's the small hometowns they couldn't leave or couldn't wait to leave, or the big cities where they chased down their dreams, everywhere we go leaves a mark on us somehow and comes out in the music. And on paper, my guest today is the definition of a small town girl making it in the big city. Mackenzie Carpenter grew up in a town of just 120 people, and now she's touring on both sides of the Atlantic, supporting the likes of Midland and Jordan Davis. But there were no shortage of characters in the town she grew up in, and we're going to hear all about that today. It was a town of big hearts and big personalities that really shaped her as a songwriter. And you can kind of hear that in her witty lyrics, and with her classic country voice, it just makes for the perfect pairing. Mackenzie's versatility is clear to hear on her debut album, Hey Country Queen. She's got pre-drink anthems on there, heartbreak ballads, romantic love songs, and of course, the classic Murder Your Husband country song. I'm so excited to get into it today and hear all about her songwriting and the places that have inspired her. So here she is. This is Mackenzie Carpenter. Mackenzie, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
We are so excited to have you here. I love your music.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to get into the places that have shaped you, how the songs came about, the stories behind them. But first, I did hear and see that you have a pre-show ritual.
I do. Thanks for noticing. We have a pre-show ritual that's called squats and shots because my goal is to have Carrie Underwood legs.
Okay.
So I feel like before stage, got to get, my legs pumping. So normally we sing the national anthem when we're at home. And then we do our squats and shots, which it looks like we might be about to do here.
Yeah, we've gone for non-alcoholic because you're jet lagged. I get it. There's no pressure.
It's the idea.
If you want to sing the national anthem, I'll sing the British one at the same time.
We'll sing it in our hearts.
Yeah, we'll sing it in our hearts.
And then I have a little toast. So,
okay.
But we're going to have to kind of stand up. Yeah, for our little squat.
Okay, all right, I'm here.
So then I say, God bless us, God bless America, and God bless country music.
God bless us, God bless Great Britain, God bless
Oh, I like that. And then we squat.
Squat, okay.
And we shot.
Squat and shot. Wow.
Cheers.
Amazing.
And just like that, you're ready for a Mackenzie Carpenter show.
I've squatted, I've shotted. I'm ready for the podcast. That is so, you do it for every single show you do that?
Yeah, every single show.
No one with back problems who can't do it in your band? Or...
so far so good. Sometimes I have like a mini skirt on that prohibits it. But other than that, we've been able to accomplish the squat and shot pretty much every show. Yeah.
It's so nice. I'm in a band myself, and we do a thing. My wife was helping out with the cheerleading squad. And so we do a thing. We go, I believe in you, you believe in me, and I believe in this team.
I love that.
But it's cheesy, but
it's sweet.
It gets everyone in the mood, doesn't it?
Yeah, you do. There is something about that pre-show hype building or just moment of okay, get your mind right. Let's go do this.
Yeah.
So 100%. I think it's fun that everybody has their little thing.
Definitely.
Yeah. We'll have to try yours next time.
So is this the first time you've been over to the UK?
This is my first time.
Wow.
I'm loving it so far. I did a whole day in Notting Hill yesterday, just flying by wherever the wind took me. Got this new jacket, and today I'm here.
So what's your first impressions of the UK? I mean, you see Notting Hill. Do you see the bookshop from the movie? Do all that stuff?
Yes, I did. We took the tube.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like a local already.
How was the tube? Did someone cough on you? No.
No.
Okay, that's good.
I was fine. It was crowded, though, especially when we took it later on. But we got by. I like it.
There is a statistic, I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently on the tube, you were only ever about 5 feet from a rat every time. So that might
You're kidding.
That's what people say.
Why would you tell me that?
Well, I don't know. I want to get your expectations a bit lower because you're here for a week or so.
There's no telling what could pop out the next time I'm down there.
We're going to talk about your brother Micah in a bit.
Yeah.
I think you bring him with you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
But is there anything else that you always travel with?
Ooh, always. just a bag full of nonsense. Like literally, I have a bag. Like, I even walked in with it somewhere the other day, and my brother was like, what do you have in there that you could need, really? But it's just like, sunglasses, like a light for content, like all these random things. Like I'll literally put my purse in the big bag and just like throw any snacks. I always have snacks. Like I just feel like I always need food.
How many pairs of boots do you bring?
Oh, okay. So this was actually a big conversation for this trip because
your face got very serious just then as well.
Oh, I don't mess around when it comes to packing and boots and the outfits. I brought 3 pairs of boots on this trip. And I'm here for about a week, but then I'm going to Australia from here.
Oh, wow.
So like, I needed some good outfits, and it's hard to just pick one. So I brought black, white, and red.
So you got your own suitcase for the boots?
No, I stuffed them in there.
Wow.
I'm like learning some packing hacks, like stuff the socks and whatever you can roll up and put in there. It takes up less space. I don't know.
What snacks are you going for?
There's like protein bars called Go Macro bars.
Okay.
Chomps that are like beef sticks.
That's interesting. So chomp is a very different thing here.
Oh no.
Chomp is a bit of chomp. No, it's fine. It's nothing
Is
really.
it bad?
No, yeah. It's just a legal drug. No, it's not. It's a little chocolate with fudge inside it.
Oh, that
Complete
sounds amazing.
Opposite. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. It's kind of like beef jerky or like a Slim Jim.
Okay.
You have Slim Jim?
Nope.
No?
No.
Oh my
God. That
God.
does sound weird to me. A Slim Jim.
A Slim Jim?
It sounds. It's not. But it sounds
Like beef jerky, like a beef stick, chomps.
Yeah.
And then I'm a big gummy bear or gummy worm girl.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, but your teeth look fine.
So they're hanging on so far.
Have you tried any UK snacks yet?
Snacks? Not quite, but I feel like I have already done some amazing food. I actually just got to try dishoom.
Oh, wow. Just now?
Yeah, literally just before I came
Wow.
here. It was incredible.
Wow. Yeah, I still haven't tried dishoom. That's one thing.
Oh, you gotta go.
Yeah, was it amazing?
It was really yummy.
Because in Indian food, I presume where you come from.
Well, this was honestly one of my first experiences with Indian food. There's not a lot of places in Nashville, to my knowledge, that have like really good Indian food.
Okay.
So I loved it. I'm excited.
How spicy did you go?
We did not go spicy.
I was going to say, because if you stop halfway through in the podcast, if you get some stomach cramps or something,
No, we
that's
were
fine.
we weren't worried about that. We were like, let's not do anything crazy.
Amazing. Well, so this podcast is all about the places that have like shaped artists and the songs where they come from. And for me, there's only one place that we can start with you, and that is Hull in Georgia.
Hull, Georgia. I've
Georgia.
recently learned there's another Hull.
There is. I was going to go into that, but
You're like, not for today.
I think it's quite different to where you're from. Can you paint a picture of where you are from? Because I've looked it up
Yeah.
online. It looks picturesque, but really small.
It's very tiny. I think our population sign is 120 people, but it's definitely grown since then. Very small town. It's called the Well City, actually, which could be kind of like, a nice omen. But we have like a stoplight. We have like a post office. It's very small town vibes where I grew up. Kind of everybody knows everybody. But it's only a few miles away from the University of Georgia, which is like kind of the big part of town right outside of Athens. So there is like a huge music scene with some iconic venues in the States. One called the Georgia Theater, one's called the 40 Watt. I just got to play my first ever headlining show at the 40 Watt.
Oh, wow.
Which was like a really special, I don't know, just part of the journey because that's like my hometown spot. But yeah, very just like small town vibes, the neighbors. I could like take you through my neighborhood and like pretty much tell you about everybody in everybody's house and what they do and the drama with all their. I have a friend that during COVID she came over and was staying with me, and I was walking her through my neighborhood, like giving her the rundown, and she's from California, and she was like, "We do not know our neighbors like this."
Yeah.
It's crazy the difference, but
who's one you can rely on most in Hull?
Oh, well,
Family
actually,
aside.
Well, the crazy part is my family's house is right next to my mom's brother, aka my uncle's house.
Okay.
So we grew up next door neighbors to my uncle and cousins. So it's hard to not choose them.
Yeah. Okay. Who's the one you sort of would cross the street to maybe not have a conversation with? The one that gets you stuck in a conversation
That we don't want to talk to?
Well, yeah, no, because there's always that one person. I live in a small village that's the same, and it's like, I don't really want to talk.
There's this one family.
You have to name them, is fine.
Yeah, I won't say their name, but I got a dog when I was 12. She's still alive. Her name is Nyla, and she's my little bestie. She's a Yorkie poo. So when I got her, you know, she could fit like in my little two hands. She's so teensy tiny, so floofy and cute. And I guess we're like a neighborhood where your dogs just kind of run and they come back home when they want to come back home. And one day I let her out, and I probably shouldn't have because she was so tiny, but she like ran across the street, and the neighbors over there called the pound on this dog that is like tiny and perfect. I'm like, hey, put a note in the freaking neighborhood chat. Like, write it on your Facebook wall. Like, call us around and say, like, is anybody missing their dog? Like, but they called the pound, and she was like seconds away from being taken in a truck.
Oh my gosh! So
when I got to her,
they don't really have that here. Cause
like animal services. I don't know what you would call it
here.
It's
like a dangerous dog, a loose dog, or a lost dog.
Yeah, like if you just saw a dog and you didn't know what to do with it, you would call and they'd come, you know, pick up the dog and take it to like the shelter.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're not on the Christmas card list, that family.
No.
I mean, you've mentioned the well. Is there anything else actually in Hull itself that's like a big landmark? 'Cause I did look and I couldn't see. It looked beautiful.
There's not very many big landmarks that you would know of. I mean, like, obviously my home is like the biggest symbol to me and where I grew up. And if you go back and see some of the stuff from my debut EP, the song Hunting Season, everything that we filmed for that was in my family's backyard, actually.
I did watch that.
And the other song on that EP that lived on to my album is called Don't Mess With Exes, and we shot that in a hot dog stand that is like my favorite restaurant that's like right outside of my hometown. But that actually reminds me, I do have another place that I'm obsessed with. There are two other amazing restaurants in our hometown. It's called Biscuit Express and Wing House.
Okay.
And those are like the two spots.
Wow. And you know the difference, biscuits here, biscuits are completely different.
Yeah, what are the...
So biscuits like cookies, what you call cookies, but biscuits, I try to explain to Brits what biscuits are like.
Yeah, like homemade, we call them cat head, I don't really know why, but they're like thin and long and like, oh, they're just like the best thing ever. Like, I don't know what you would even call it here, like a bread sandwich.
We have a scone or a scone, which is similar, but
if you like
savory.
cut the scone in half and it wasn't sweet, it was like a little more salty, and you put like bacon and eggs in it.
Right, so that's the best one.
Ooh, I bet a scone sandwich would be good. Y'all should try that. Somewhere here should make that. I bet it would pop off.
So you talked about your house and living next to your uncle.
Yeah.
Can you paint that picture of that? I mean, you've got, in my mind, it's like you're just playing songs with your brothers, your uncles there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what was it like growing up to that close, isn't it?
I mean, that's actually, you're spot on. I think one thing that really influenced like songwriting and my life growing up was knowing everybody around me and like knowing their life and being so close to family and neighbors and like getting to draw so much inspiration from like not only my experiences but theirs. So like Hunting Season is about that uncle that we grew up next to. He's like a huge hunter. And I always kind of say that I swear him and my aunt would be divorced if Hunting Season didn't exist. Because there has been times, you know, that we're like, what's going on? Who's where? What's happening? And I've gotten to like draw inspiration from them and their relationship from like living there and being so close and like the way that they live. So then there's another thing that we would do growing up that we call a Hootenanny.
Okay.
And basically a bunch of people from our neighborhood, friends, family, everybody would come over on our back deck. And like both of my brothers play guitar, some of our neighbors play guitar. My other uncle, who's actually my second cousin, he lives down the street.
Whoa. You can't just drop that in. My other uncle is actually my second cousin.
So he is my second cousin, but we call him uncle just because he's more of like, he's my mom's cousin. Like, you know, he's just like, seems like an uncle.
That's fine.
I don't know why. Like, I don't know.
I was worried about some family trees getting mixed up there.
Thank goodness it's not like twisted like that. We just call him Uncle Cody. I don't know why. Yeah. But we have a lot of like musicians in the family that they never chose it as a career, but they really love it and like just love to play music. And so we all will just gather around, and I have some family members that make moonshine. So we'll pass the jar around and we'll just stay out there till 2, 3 in the morning, and everybody's picking up things and playing things and having a good time. And my Uncle Cody, that's actually my cousin, my actual Uncle Jay, actually when they were young, he like chopped his pinky off. And so when he plays, he like plays without his pinky.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh no.
There's so many amazing characters that, like I said, I get to draw inspiration from and like learn from. And it's a really, really fun, I don't know, just environment. And I love going home to Hull. It's just like the community there is so supportive and excited for us. And it's really, the feeling of going home, like you think about,
It's so nice. It seems to be quite a common thread among country artists that I speak to, is that their home is it's like a place, a real base they've got, and people that lift them up.
Yeah.
What's interesting was looking at your kind of story there, because you're the youngest of three, is that right? With Micah and McLean.
Yeah.
McLean. But you described yourself as like the annoying little sister.
Yeah.
And you, is it right, you and Micah used to sort of clash a bit?
Yeah, we did. And then honestly, music is kind of what brought us together, because once we both went off to school, we, had to choose to keep in touch.
Yeah. And
I moved to Nashville and he moved to Atlanta. He was playing sports, and we would talk every now and then. Because if I backtrack a little, I grew up super musical, always wanted to do music, but my dad is the one that was like, hey, you have to learn how to write songs if you want to do this. And so I moved to Nashville to try to, quote unquote, learn how to write songs. And Micah kind of heard the same advice, but maybe just like took it a little slower, like wasn't exactly sure that's what he wanted to do, was following the sports thing. And then we would talk about like the things I was seeing and experiencing in Nashville.
Yeah.
And he would be like, oh, that's really interesting. And so then I think as we both kind of started moving in the same direction, like this way, it brought us kind of closer this way, because we started to like really respect each other, because he has a lot of strengths that are my weaknesses and I have strengths that are his weaknesses. And so it's really nice to be able to just like, first of all, have a family member on the road when you're touring. It's like, the grind. So having somebody that is like literally a piece of home with you, it means so much. And then just to be able to like collaborate with someone that you trust and that will be honest with you, and we can easily be like, that's not good, that's not it, like let's move on, let's find what's it. It's a really special thing.
To have that, like you said, like it can be a grind, and like you flew in last night.
Yeah.
You're in a strange place. Your brother's coming, and it's going to be, you're having that, just that perspective of, of home, like you say. And I think it's lovely that you are performing together and writing together. I mean, do you still fall out ever though?
Oh, for sure. Especially on this journey of like late nights, early mornings, travel hiccups, like all the things. We definitely have our moments, but thankfully we are more of a like rely on each other, help each other than clash like we were when we were kids.
Oh, like you said, you're very musical growing up.
Yeah.
And I'm right in saying your dad ran the church?
Yeah, he was a preacher.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I presume, I think I read something like, he said, you can always go out on a Saturday night, but you always have somewhere to go to on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, he said, I want everybody to feel, no matter where you are Saturday night, I want you to feel welcome on Sunday morning. And as you can tell from this whole conversation, it was like a super small town. And so the church that he grew up pastoring was actually in this old newspaper warehouse, and it was across from the Waffle House of our town and the Coors Light factory of our town.
Oh, how small is this place? You've got Biscuit Express.
That's so true.
Coors factory.
Well, the thing that's so interesting is that like the towns run right after each other.
Okay.
So like Culver, Hull, into Athens, like they're all just back to back to back. So like it might not even be in Hull, but like it's within 5 minutes. And so I'm like, oh yeah, that's my home.
Yeah. Amazing. So you're going to the church on Sunday morning, your dad's preaching.
Yeah.
And you're singing.
Yeah, that's kind of how we initially got into music, even though there's like home videos and photos of me. I actually just posted a picture of me, and I'm like so tiny singing that the microphone is like bigger than my head and like my hands. And so I don't really know, like it was always just kind of in me that this is what I wanted to do. And then, growing up in a house that is like somewhat musical, which is such an interesting statement because my parents don't sing, but they met in a singing group in college. And like in the sweetest way, sometimes we're like, how are we all in a singing group? Like, how did this happen? Because it's not something that they've continued to do. But it was just always kind of like something inside me that I wanted to do. And then when my dad encouraged me to write songs, and they never were like, oh, you need to get a real job. They never like asked me to have a plan B. They were just like, yeah, I mean, she's always done the singing and performing kind of thing. So that's what she's going to figure out. And that's something I'm really thankful for, that they never, asked me to have a plan B.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That, I've got 3 kids myself, and I'm like...
I know. Would you want them to go into the music industry? Are any of them leaning that way?
Yeah, the eldest is, and one of my biggest fears is that he ends up wanting to do it. On a selfish level.
Isn't that so bittersweet?
Yeah. It is. Well, yeah. I mean, you just know how difficult it can be. But you want to encourage your kids to dream, and the fact your parents did that and never said have a plan B. It's such an easy. Well, make sure you got something to fall back on because it's tough. But I think that's so beautiful. Yeah, honestly.
And I think that's something that like I could easily take for granted because they have been so supportive. But I think it is a really, really fun part of the story that has given me the confidence to like keep going and keep trying and keep doing it, honestly.
Yeah, that's honestly amazing.
It is.
So you got church on Sunday.
Yeah.
Football, the Bulldogs.
Oh.
I guess that is another big
You
thing
really
in the
have done your
community.
research, yeah.
I mean, we don't really have like
wait, what do you
parties
guys like cheer for here?
We have soccer, football.
Okay, football.
We call it football.
Football.
Yeah. But like the whole kind of tradition of tailgate parties, which I mean, could you just paint a picture of what that is? Because we have nothing like that here at all.
Oh yeah. So tailgating, this is actually so funny. We grew up tailgating for the UGA football games.
Okay, University of Georgia.
The Bulldogs. And basically what our family did is there's a place called Tailgate Station. But if you like pulled into Athens Saturday game day, I mean, you could just like walk in and you'll see people with tents and their tailgates down and tables. Then they're playing beer pong and they got their music cranked. And it's kind of like before a concert.
Okay.
Like, do you guys ever do anything like that before a concert?
No. This is what I'm saying. Like, most people listening, if they're from the UK, won't really know what a tailgate is.
Oh my goodness! The cars. Wait, this is so funny.
Yeah, big trucks.
Wait, so do you have like any kind of pregame?
We probably just go to the pub.
Okay, so that's like, I love that. So just think about everything you would do at the pub before a big concert or a big game.
It's not the same.
And put it outside.
No, I think it's so much cooler what you guys do.
So when we say tailgate, it's literally like the bed of the truck putting down the tailgate.
And you got food.
And you have tables, you have food. Some people bring some people do this up. Like they'll have a tent with like tablecloths and a whole spread, like a potluck. They'll be making hot dogs. They'll have those like little meatball things. You got chips, you got dips, you got drinks, you got anything you need. You got the country music cranking to 10. And, anybody that walks by can just like stop in your tent, have a drink, keep on walking. And then everybody's kind of hanging out and chilling. And then there comes a point where it's like, okay, got to head into the
game.
And so then everybody will either walk together or they have like buses and stuff that you can get on that will like drive you to the stadium. And then you watch the game. But the funny thing is, for concerts, we never miss the show. But for football, there's a lot of times that we don't even actually go to the game. We just tailgate. And then at the tailgate, my uncle and my dad, they have this trailer that has a TV, it has a grill, it has a bathroom. And so we all just set up at the tailgate and watch the game together.
So you're like literally outside the stadium.
Yeah.
And you got a TV with the game on.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Is that some of your like first memories of country music would be at the tailgates, do you think?
Honestly, I think between the Hootenannys and the tailgates and then like honestly just like my parents' radio. Like we grew up on a lot of Craig Morgan and Toby Keith and Shania. Just my mom had this big red Suburban that we would all pile in, and between country music and Hannah Montana, we were like ready to rock.
I mean, you've mentioned some big artists just then.
Yeah.
I mean, am I right in saying Shania is a big hero of yours, though? There's a big Shania story.
I'm a big fan.
Didn't you see her really early on?
Yeah, I got to see her for my 18th birthday.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so not that long ago.
Yeah.
Was that, I mean...
Oh, it was
how does she rank in your... Who's at the top?
It's so hard because if I was just like spitting off, some of the icons... Specifically in country music, it would be like, I mean, how do you not say Dolly, Carrie, Miranda, Shania? And then Miley Cyrus is another big one that, has done all the different things. But, I mean, there's just so many amazing, talented women in this genre to look up to and be inspired by.
Yeah.
It's really special.
Because I read a thing that you were not that interested in going to, well, not interested, it wasn't a dream of yours to go to Nashville, but
Yeah.
seeing some of those heroes, like even Miley, was that
Yeah.
like, oh, she spent time in Nashville and did her thing? Was that something like, I need to go there? Was that part of the plan?
Yeah, I think kind of what I meant by that was like when I grew up, I didn't start from a young age with dreams of moving to Nashville or even know that that was a thing. Like I didn't really know Nashville existed until I started writing songs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then my dad was kind of like, yeah, so Nashville is like the songwriter capital. Like this is the place. You can go there and like collaborate and learn and all these things. And so that's when I was like, okay, I have to get to Nashville. And then it just, once you get there, you're like, oh, this literally is like the nucleus for everything that I want to do.
I mean, that's so interesting. It's literally 4.5 hours or 5 hours from
from where I grew up.
Yeah. And so your first sort of trip to Nashville.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it like? You walk in there and it's just like, this is a bit different to home.
Yeah, it definitely was different. I went on my first trip to visit Belmont University, which is where I went to school. And I don't know, I just immediately knew that it was where I wanted to be. And I like hoped and prayed for that feeling because I was, I feel like you graduate high school and you're like, what am I going to do? That reality hits you of like, okay, I got to figure out my next step because it's not just laid out for me now.
Yeah.
And when I got there, I just had a really good feeling. And just the people that I met, the town, it was just like a little bit of everything that I needed and wanted.
Yeah, I can't imagine because I've looked at pictures of Athens and it looks quite picturesque and the building's quite old for American kind of standards. But like Belmont,
It's beautiful.
for people who don't know,
it's
really
stunning.
Nashville is the buildings aren't that big in Nashville generally compared to like New York and London and stuff.
Yeah.
But that sort of Hillsborough area of Nashville, Belmont is like one of the most prestigious sort of songwriting and music university in
that area.
the South, I guess.
Yeah.
Almost. And it just sits on top of this slight hill, doesn't it? I can't imagine seeing that for the first time. Like this is where I'm going to call home
for the next while. Yeah.
Must have been just
and
crazy.
then even after that, being like, yeah, I'm staying.
Wow.
And then both of my brothers have moved there, and my parents come visit all the time. It's amazing.
Were there any sort of homesick moments though at the start, do you think?
Definitely. I mean, just like anybody, when you either move to a new place, and especially at that time in your life where you've like lived at home literally your whole life, and then you like move away, and it's just like, okay, I guess I'm, somewhat on my own figuring this out. And you're in a dorm. It's like, oh, okay, this is different. But my parents, another thing, they really encouraged us, me and my brothers, to like go away because they wanted us to, experience something else. And so I just always knew in the back of my mind, like, they want this for me. I want this for me. I just got to figure it out.
Was it weird though, like, were people not as friendly? Because I guess you knew everyone where you grew up and sort of walking around.
That's a good point. I think that maybe that's a thing that I've brought with me where I kind of try to make friends everywhere I go. Yeah. I'll just like talk to random people and I don't know, spark up conversation. And I feel like when you're early on in school like that, everybody is doing the same thing. And so I made a lot of friends early on.
I mean, it's that community at Belmont.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at a lot of the songwriters and producers and artists, like, was there anyone in your kind of year or year group who is like a star?
Yeah,
now?
they actually tell you to look to your right and your left, and that these are the people you're going to rise with. And one person that I actually had classes with was Dasha.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So that's been fun to see her like rise in her moment. It's been really, really cool. And then kind of towards the end of my time there, I met a guy named Cooper Smith, whose brother is Connor Smith, and Connor is signed to the same label as me. So like that started our friendship, and my brother actually toured with him for a few years.
Wow.
So that was a fun connection. And then at the end of my time at Belmont, I met Lily Rose, who didn't actually go to Belmont, but we started writing together, and she had like a breakout hit called Villain that I got to write with her.
Yeah.
And that just kind of kept things going.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
All those people, and obviously we know what Dasha's doing now.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many other people that like I could probably dissect and connect, like especially in the industry side that you connect with. And it's like, it's always a good thing to be like, oh, we both went to Belmont. Like we can connect on that. It's never been a bad thing.
And in terms of like your songwriting journey, well, I guess was Belmont at the point when it really like you sort of kicked into gear? I'm really going to study this now.
Yeah, I think so, because in my hometown and where I grew up, like I had never collaborated on a song. I never co-written. I would just like get home and write things that I wanted to write. And so I think that moving to Nashville, it just opens up your mind to like what is possible and how if you have a weakness, there's somebody else that is good at that you can bring in to like help take the song to the next level, or just another person's experience can come in and like take the song from going this way to going back this way to going back this way and just like make it more connecting to the audience. And they really encourage you to co-write. And I think that was like an amazing journey that I learned early on that then it carries on through today for other opportunities I've had to co-write for other artists and people that have the opportunity to co-write with me for my project. It's a really cool thing that definitely started in Nashville.
Yeah. I mean, if you had to, I'm picking up on a vibe, but when you sort of see it, that sounds really weird.
A vibe. No. I like need to know what's the vibe.
I'm an artist, but I always think of myself as a songwriter first. And I feel like the way you talk about songwriting is different to how some other artists talk about songwriting. And I wonder if you had to choose, you could only be a songwriter or be an artist the rest of your life. If you could be an artist but couldn't write songs, or be a songwriter and couldn't perform them, is there a gut or not?
That is so tough.
Okay.
Because if you are saying be an artist but you couldn't write the songs.
Some people do. Some people do that.
Oh yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with it. But like in my gut, it would be so hard for me because I've only ever like cut and performed songs that I'll do like a cover in my set, but release songs like on my album that I've had a part in writing.
Yeah, this is a hypothetical question, but I'm not forcing you to
do it. No, I know, but it is.
You seem really turmoil about it. You don't have to do it.
I will say that I think that songs are the foundation of an artist's career, whether they write it or not. And so I knew that like if I want to do this thing and like be successful, I need great songs. And who's in control of that? Me. So I need to learn how to write great songs so that I can always have great songs. Yeah. And so I think it started out with the dream of being an artist, but then I really fell in love with songwriting and like doing that for other people, doing that for myself. It's so fun that you walk into a room with nothing but like maybe an idea, if even, and you leave with like a song that then connects to people and relates to people, or maybe it never goes anywhere, but you still went in and you like literally created something out of nothing that day.
Yeah.
And that's just so inspiring and special. So having to live without that would be really sad. But then also when you get to go perform the songs and like connect with fans and just like literally dance and have fun and use your talent like on a stage, like that's so fun too. So I think they go hand in hand.
You don't have to answer it. It's just interesting to me. But I mean, it's
you like the way I said all of that without answering it?
Yeah. Politician next. What's your favorite part of that songwriting process? Because the way you described it is just great to me. I've always thought of it like an imaginary jigsaw, and you're putting these pieces together, and then we got this thing. But the moment I love is when we all sit there and you go, "Oh, that's it. That's the bit."
No, that is such a good moment.
Yeah, isn't it? I take that. That's why I would say I'd be a songwriter. I live off that. I love performing, but that's me.
The part.
I'm just like, oh, you've got.
No, like when, like you said, as a puzzle, when the words fit together or you get the turn of phrase just right, it's like, oh, yep, that's what people are gonna be like. Oh, yeah.
That Nashville turn of phrase, which a lot of people who don't make music won't understand. That was something I learned when I first started going to town like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
and they're just geniuses.
Yeah, there are some incredibly talented people that. One of them for me is Nicole Gallion.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like anytime I can write a song with her, I feel like I leave with my jaw on the floor because she's just like, she takes any idea or thing that I have and she just makes it so much better.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how she does it. Like somehow it's like so easy for her and effortless, but she is like a wizard of words. But I think it's fun to get in and like discuss ideas because normally you get in and you're like, oh, I had this thought or you had this thought and we talk about it. And it is like a puzzle that you're just like, how do I make this make sense? How do I fit this? How do I make it unique? How do I make it fresh? And then that moment is a good one because that's like one of the first moments of like, we've got something. Yeah. And then I think once you start like singing in what you've written, Or like you get a great chorus. Like that's, I don't know. They're all just like, it's a really exciting feeling.
It's funny because listening to your record, it does jump around slightly sound-wise. And that makes sense to me because I think you're just writing whatever you feel that day. But a song like Cowgirl, like me, I mean,
it's like, whoa, where did that come from?
I mean, that sounds like literally downtown Broadway, Nashville.
Well, that was the goal. I feel like there's a lot of hot girls out there. They need a hot girl anthem.
Yeah, you said that. I didn't say that.
And I just feel like I love to go to Broadway in Nashville. They say, oh yeah.
Really? Wow.
They say that like once you live there, like you don't go, but I literally go all the time.
I was there last week. I didn't go.
Well,
I was like, I'm not going.
If you're on a trip, it might be hard to squeeze in depending on like what your goals are. If you don't have room for a late night, no time for a hangover. But I think it's so fun. And I was like, I need a song that is like when I'm like pre-gaming or tailgating or pubbing with my girlfriends that we're like listening to get ready and like that hypes us up, or that when we go out, we want to hear and like run to the dance floor when that song comes on. And so actually writing that song, it was one that I specifically went in the room that day and I was like, I want to write something completely different than you would even think that I would want to write today. Like, what is like the most out of the box like thing or thought or sound that we could create from today?
Because you've got that like trap kind of on it, sort of it sounds very different like to the other stuff, but it fits that Broadway thing so perfectly. Have you heard your song on Broadway yet?
Not yet. There's a song, Country Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Yeah, of course.
And we did a remix to that one too. That's kind of like a club mix that's super fun, and I've gotten to hear that one out.
Right, so that's the Cyndi Lauper song, isn't
it? Yes.
How did that come about? Because that's such a great idea.
Thank you. So I went into a writer's room one day with my brother, a guy named Ben Williams, who's also one of the guys that we write a lot of the Megan stuff with, and then another guy named Kyle Clark, who's actually the guy that introduced me to Megan.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, now that I'm like playing so many shows, there's a difference between walking in the room and writing like what you need to hear that day or you need to feel. Something that you feel like someone else needs to hear or feel, and then something that maybe you want to express to people when you're on stage and like show them who you are. So I was like, I want to write a song that makes people feel like girls just want to have fun. Like I need that moment at a Mackenzie show. And so Kyle was like, I said the country version of Girls Just Want to Have Fun. He goes, well, why don't we just write
Let's do that.
Country Girls Just Want to Have Fun? I mean, he's like, it's already so great. Like that is like such a new thing that people are doing in this genre. Like, let's just do it. So that day we wrote it not knowing if that was like allowed or not. And then thankfully, like everything got passed and approved and it made it out in the world.
Wow.
And it's such a fun one because it has that hint of familiarity, but then like, the countrified twist that people at a country concert love.
Yeah.
So it gets them singing along, but they're also like, oh, like I don't know this version yet. Or maybe they do, but it's just like a fun moment.
I think it's a brilliant song.
Thank you.
I urge people to listen to it. You talked about Megan just then. I know that you, Megan, Ben, and Micah, you call yourselves Jimmy James.
Yes.
You're writing...
our little crew.
Little foursome.
Yes.
But coming back to Megan just for a sec, I mean, when did you become friends? She wasn't at Belmont, obviously, with you, but you're both Georgian, so...
She actually went to UGA.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And this guy, Kyle, that I write with, that wrote Country Girls Just Want to Have Fun, he knew her and he knew me because he went to high school with my brother. All the little small town connections come into play.
Yep.
And so he introduced us and he was like, we should all write a song one day. And I was home for the summer. I think it was my freshman year of college. And she was at UGA, so she was in town. And she just came over to my parents' house on the porch.
Wow.
And we just wrote a song. And we all were like, oh, this is so fun. Let's keep in touch. And then...
And you both go to Nashville.
Yeah. Then, not long later, we both moved to Nashville. And I don't remember like how we exactly reconnected, but I just know that one day we ended up writing, me, Micah, Ben, and Megan. And we just kind of had one of those moments where all four of us just like instantly clicked.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of like supplemented each other and brought to the table what other people, like what the other one was missing. And on top of all of that, we had so much fun and we truly like understood each other's humor and just, it was just like, the puzzles fit together of the four of us. And so we started writing, and we didn't really know, if it was going to amount to anything. But then the song and her career, really started taking off. And it was like, oh, not only is this so fun, but also we're like kind of becoming good at this. So like we need to keep doing this.
Yeah.
And so we've gotten to be a part of both of her records so far. And we just wrote some new songs for her, potential next one that I'm really excited about. And I know she has some fun things coming with those songs. And so, and then on top of that, we've gotten to tour together. And so to get to see like these songs that not just as like a friend or like, a fan of Megan's, but also like a collaborator, that I get to see part of my work through it, like having this moment with people right there that night it's been really special.
The thing is, like, you can't fake that. Like, I know a lot of artists like, oh, my buddy.
Yeah.
Or my girl. And it's like,
my bestie.
Yeah, it's not. But it seems like you guys, the four of you, but particularly you and Megan as well, like you actually are like you're close.
We genuinely like each other. And I am genuinely a fan. Like, I think that she's actually amazing. I think she's doing such a cool thing. I think she always looks amazing. She sounds great. The things that she's saying are just like so connecting with people, and to get to be a part of that, it's just like it only like makes me feel good, like to get to be a part of what she's doing. And so yeah, it's fun to get to collaborate, and I hope we get to keep doing it.
I feel slightly jealous in a way because I think I'm maybe a generation like older than you in terms of music. And I feel like yourself and people like Megan who are coming in to country at the moment, like you say things so clearly.
Oh,
and
thank
so
you.
like not I wouldn't say literally, but you put it in words that just I don't know. I just love it. I don't know what question I'm asking you. It's just like you guys are such a great conversational way of writing.
You.
But I was wondering, like as a songwriter and as a person more actually, like do you think how long have you been in Nashville for? How long? I
want to say 8 years.
Is that long? Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh, so do you think you've changed a bit as a person?
Ooh. I do think that it's like you grow up a certain way in a small town, and then you're kind of like faced with the next chapter. And so the reality is that like I haven't lived in Hull, in a few years. I've been living in Nashville, and there's like different things to do, and like, it's convenient to get everywhere. Everywhere is so close. So there's things about that like my lifestyle has probably changed, but as a human, I think that the values that were like instilled in me, in Hull, it's like it's pretty much the same, but I hope I'm always like evolving and learning and meeting new people and trying new things. And
Indian food, Dishim.
Yeah.
If you wore that jacket in Hull, what would they say?
They would make some funny comment about like where I found this.
Get a Biscuit Express with your astronaut thing on. No, it's not actually. It's a racing jacket. I love that jacket. I'm jealous of the jacket as well. So your new song with Midland.
Yes.
I Wish You Would. I have run past the Hubba Hubba Tiki Tonk.
No.
And not known it's there. I was there last week. I was going past it every day. I had no idea it was there.
No.
And like, I look in your video. The video is so cool.
Thank you.
That glittery dress. It's like...
It was amazing, that dress. Something so fun is that Cam in the trio, Midland, his wife's name is Harper. She directed that video.
Oh, okay.
And she actually shot my album cover. And she shot like my EP covers and stuff. So she's a beautiful, talented creative that I've gotten to collaborate with over the years. And so then I kind of feel like there was, an invisible string connecting me to Midland at all this time that has now finally, made itself known. And so to get to do that video and that song with them, and they have just been so supportive and all in and kind and fun. And they have been like such a great partner on this song.
It's funny, that video, because I love it. Because they're quite cheeky, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I had to put that into
a bit. No, they are.
They're quite cheeky boys. But it sort of walks that line of being a bit kitsch and a bit kind of, I don't know, it's just such a cool video. Because it's like tongue-in-cheek, but also really meaningful.
Yeah.
I've had nights like that where it just, everything's a bit hazy, a bit disco ball-y.
And there's something about like a missed connection that like really tugs on my heartstrings. So it's like, I walk into the bar, obviously, like me and Mark as the bartender have this connection, and the other guys are just like fiddling around and being funny and like supporting their guy. And then we kind of have this whole moment together, in my dreams, kind of, it was meant to be kind of like a dream state when I'm in the sparkly dress, like all the things that you wish that y'all could be together. And this, like, when you first meet somebody and you're like, oh my gosh, like, could this be what I think it is? And then it's like you snap back to reality at the end, and it's like I leave the bar as me again in my hat, and I'm like, oh, he didn't like make the move, even though I wish that he would. And so it's just such an interesting, like, I don't know, I feel like it means so much more when like the potential's there and it doesn't happen than like it all happening.
Yeah. I'm going to watch it again now. You said that. But that was the thing. This is quite a long question. I don't know how to ask this properly, but like I said, the album's got such range on it. So many different types of songs. And Jesus, I'm Jealous. I mean, if you could just first tell me about the song, and then I want to ask you another question after that.
So Jesus, I'm Jealous is a song that actually came out on my debut EP, but I wanted it to live on to my album because I feel like it hasn't like fully had its moment. And it's definitely a fan favorite. Like, you know, it's a slower song. So we've talked about like not playing it at shows before. And then every time that I almost don't, somebody comes up to me at the merch table after and is like, that song is the reason that like this happened to me, or this is how I felt connected to you, or this is how I found you, or like that was the moment that I was like, wow, like I can get behind this girl. Like I feel that. And I think that it's just like such a emotional song because everybody has felt the feeling of jealousy, whether it's about somebody's relationship, somebody's job, the car somebody drives, like it's just so easy to feel like you're not quite where you wanted to be just yet in life.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm always struggling with comparison or like, am I doing this right? Or am I making it to the next thing? And that song every night, it just like reminds me that it's okay to feel that way. But then the bridge says, I know you have a plan, it'll all work out someday, but tonight it feels so far away. So it's like, sometimes you have to just throw yourself a pity party and let yourself feel it. But deep down, you have to know, like, wherever you find your peace, mine is, you know, praying in a bar. Wherever you find your peace, like, you have to just keep that tucked down deep inside.
Yeah.
And go back to it when you need to.
It's funny because one thing I'm grateful for is that I didn't have to come through. TikTok wasn't a thing when I first started in my band. We sold some CDs as well, which is crazy, quite a few CDs. But I think the nature of TikTok, and I know it's been incredible for you. It's amazing. I'm not putting it down. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But there is like a comparison element, like you just mentioned, in a way that you're always comparing yourself to. Oh, it's easy for someone to compare themselves to others. How many views have I got? How many likes have I got? Oh my gosh, they look so great in that.
Oh yeah, and it's all like right there for everybody to see.
Yeah.
So it can definitely like, you know, mess with you.
But how do you deal with that? I mean, you know, you got your friends, people like Megan, people you went to Belmont with, and you're obviously doing really amazingly, but it must be so hard to not get wrapped up in that comparison. Do you struggle with that? Or
I think for sure sometimes there's moments where you're like, you know, why am I doing this? Or is there a reason? Or do I keep going? Or should I try something else? But the thing is, I just abide by like the mentality that there is enough for everybody. And if you just don't have the scarcity mentality, like because they have that, I can't, then I think you can have so much more joy in life. Like whether it's about a song or a career or like just whatever you have or want, like just because somebody is in love doesn't mean that takes any love away from me. You know, just because someone's having success doesn't mean that I can't. And honestly, if you lean into it, then it like will just help you rise. You know? And so I think the main thing that I go back to is just not having a scarcity mindset and knowing that like there's enough love and excitement and joy and success and songs and like all that stuff to go around.
I love that. Yeah, that's complete opposite of what most people would naturally gravitate to. I do it all the time. I'm like, I love the phrase of like a win for one is a win for all of us.
Yeah.
But sometimes when someone gets a big win, you're there.
It's hard.
Like,
no, it is. But you have to just remind yourself, and that's kind of what I constantly try to do.
I love that. That's my buzzword or buzzphrase.
No scarcity mindset.
No scarcity. I've learned a lot today. I just want to talk about Florida very quickly.
Yeah.
Because your wedding video, you put your song Only Girl to it.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, the way that the chorus hits just as you have your kiss.
Oh, it's so special.
Oh my gosh. I was like, this is the best video I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you.
It's amazing. Just take back a step. You got married in Florida, Seaside, Florida.
It's called Seaside.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the importance of Florida to you?
So there's a place called Panama City that my family actually grew up going. And it's just like, you know, a beautiful place on the beach. It's like a big spring break area. And so to kind of like make all this make sense. My husband played on the same baseball team as my brother.
Okay. Your brother's a lot responsible for a lot in your life.
He is. And so he introduced me to him when I went to sing the national anthem at a baseball game.
Wow.
And it was a whole funny thing where Micah told Cole, which Micah's brother, Cole, his husband, that he didn't have a chance with me. And I think that made him try a little harder. And so we just like immediately hit it off, and the rest is history. But the joke's kind of on Micah because now he has to write like love songs about his friend that I'm now with. So Only Girl is like one of my favorites that people have really gravitated towards. And Micah was a co-writer on that one. And I was just like, oh, my sweet husband, he just deserves a love song. Like he is all things good and sweet in the world. And so he deserves that. And it was like perfect time for our wedding. He grew up going to a different part of Florida that was like about an hour away. But by the time we met, we were just like very familiar with this whole area. And our families had vacation places like kind of near each other. And so we go there all the time. And we started dating like right a little bit before COVID. And so then a lot of our time was spent kind of like down there. And so it was just a place that had so many memories for us. And there's this beautiful, like picturesque, amazing white chapel that I just kind of set my sights on. And I was like, that is where I want to get married. And that's what happened. And so that song always kind of makes me think of that day and that area and just how special it is to us.
That chapel, like the church that you said, and it is such a great video.
Thank you.
Am I right in saying there is another song that you wrote for Cole a week into meeting or something?
Yes. I wrote a song that has like never seen the light of day because it's just so silly, but it's called See Where This Is Going.
Yeah.
And I wrote it like a week into meeting him basically about the fact that we were going to get married. And I sent it to him. Which is so delusional. So he thought it was about someone else because he was like, we just met. Like, what is she talking about? And so I told him it was about him, and he was like actually excited. And basically the rest is history. So then for our wedding, I surprised him by doing a new rendition of it that was just like, kind of like a wedding version. It was like a violin and a piano with no words. And I walked down the aisle to it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a really special moment.
But that's never going to be released, you think?
I don't think so.
That's so nice to have something you just keep for yourselves.
I've been doing that with that one, so who knows?
As you're talking, I'm thinking if my wife had done that to me I don't know.
You'd be like,
I'd be like,
are you okay?
Yeah, shit. I'm not sure what this was. No, but that's a test of love, isn't it? The fact you did it and he's like, didn't run. It's not a red flag.
He's not a red flag. Yeah. I was kind of giving red flag and he stuck it out.
and did you, so you both had vacation places. Would you have been going there as teenagers and not knowing each other was there? Kind of thing? Wow.
Yeah.
It's meant to be.
It was.
It was meant to be. Your mum and dad did a dance routine at the wedding.
They did. Yeah. Two country girls just want to have fun. Yeah, we had a super fun daddy-daughter dance that morphed into a mother-daughter-daddy dance. There was a line dance for country girls, and so they both learned it with a lot of time and effort. It was actually so funny teaching them that dance, but they were so committed, and it turned out it was a really special moment at the wedding.
Do you know, I think it's the fact that your family and you are and Hull are all so close. It's just such a lovely thing. I mean, I think it's as an artist, it's really important because that gives you, having that safety blanket almost, gives you the opportunity to do whatever you want and try. And the fact that your parents said there's no plan B, you don't have to have one. Do your thing, your friends and family. I think I'm just so excited for you.
Thank you
I think what you're doing
much.
is so amazing. Just before you go, I've got some real quick fire questions.
Okay.
So you can be as short as you want with these. Okay. The place you feel most yourself?
My home now in Nashville.
Okay, nice. There you go. What's the strangest place you've ever written a song?
In Africa, maybe.
Okay. It feels like it shouldn't be a one-word answer there. Which country was it?
I was in Uganda.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. On some random steps. Yeah.
What, you had a guitar with you? Or?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'll ask you about that afterwards. The place from your past that you'd most like to return to?
My childhood.
Oh, gosh. Okay, we'll talk about that therapy.
Yeah. No, I have sweet memories.
The most memorable place you've ever performed and why? Slightly longer.
For me is the Grand Ole Opry. That day was just a dream, and I just swear everything about that place is magical. And if you have a chance to go, if you're a country music lover, I think it's it's literally amazing.
Also, the video of Little Big Town surprising you.
Wasn't that so special?
Yeah.
They totally got me. They told me I had an interview, and so I would show up, camera ready, and then they just marched in and surprised me, telling me I got to make my debut.
For people who don't know, it's like the biggest honour in country music. You asked to play that stage, and then they completely sandbagged you. Like, by the way, you're going to play, and you were like,
what?
They had a cake as well with the microphone.
I
That
know.
was so cool. That was awesome. Mackenzie, thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you.
been awesome to meet you, and
So nice to meet you. Thanks for having me. We need like a sign off.
I know. Squats and shots.
Yeah.
Well, that was so much fun. I mean, Mackenzie is such a live wire, and I'm going to have to let her show me her favourite spots on Broadway next time I'm in Nashville. Channel my inner country queen. Leave us a rating and a review, or comment below to let me know what you thought about this episode of Country Roads. And please do share with your friends and family and anyone who loves a bit of country. We've also got a playlist on Spotify. Just search for Country Roads Podcast and you can hear all the songs that we chat about in each episode. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you next Thursday for another episode of Country Roads.